We only have 7 weeks here. 7. That's 5. 7. So, and I always want to do 2 classes in portraiture. So let's really look into this. This is what we strive for eventually. You cannot get to that level unless you learn how to do all the mechanics. And that's what we learn in this class, mechanics. And once you have the mechanics, then you can do anything. You can eliminate, you can stretch, you can move, but you will be in charge of your work, okay? So sometimes it gets a little difficult, maybe a little mechanical, but you've got to be able to get these mechanical movements, get something working that makes sense that you're in charge of again, okay? So I'm going to be talking about all the different forms of measurement and how to it, and it's really a shortcut. It's really a shortcut to learn how to do portraiture. Now, one of the most important things, when you guys are at your house, or if you're in your studio, and you eventually will be, I want you to learn how to set up a model. And I'm gonna run through this. It's really, really important. You know, when we had these guys, we had a painter from China here, we had a painter from San Francisco, we have all these guys, these really big name artists. And what I noticed is when they had the group here, they spent so much time setting up, and I said, oh my God, you know, I always feel bad, I'm taking your time, I'm spending too much time, but it's so important, you know, that you get the imagery that you want, okay? So I'm going to run through here. So if you're at your house, you're not going to have all this spots, all this activities. So what you're going to do, you're going to take a lamp, take off the lampshade. That's your warm color. You're going to set it right or left, whatever. Pose the model in a room with the outside light coming through a window. That's your cool light, ambient light. And when I take the screen down here, and when we're through demonstrating, we're going to find out we're going to get just enough ambient light to turn the form. And ambient light fills the form. There'll be all the light up here, okay? So a lot of students come to class with a photo, and it's not working because there is not a pattern. And whatever you do not use a flash. Never. Unless you've got some idea you want a stupid flash photo. I don't know, I can never figure it out. It's just completely, and what happens is it becomes like one-dimensional, okay? So that's easy, right? You heard what I said. All you have to do is just take that stupid little lamp, take it off and put it near the model, and you'll have a beautiful photo, you know? Okay, that's it for that. Okay, I like that. Are you gonna be okay? Are you comfortable? Okay. What we'll do, we'll take the photo. Do you want me to take your time, or you can see pretty much, huh? You see, we've already gained an hour. How do you feel about that? Huh?
I'm not so sure yet.
I did that on purpose. Because you breathe her. Okay. Okay, let's go. Isn't this fun? What do we have? What kind of lighting do we have here? All right, let's go. All right, we're going to use our charcoal, our wonderful charcoal. And we have all the ability, everything we need to do with this guy. And we'll be able to find all of our second-degree forms just using our finger and our eraser. So heads up. And please use your eraser. I don't know where this idea came, you can't erase. It's amazing. Okay, I don't want you to draw the head any larger than your hand extended. Not larger and not smaller, okay? We're going to just draw that form in. Sweetie, is your hair up?
What?
Is your hair up?
Yeah,
Is it tighter?
All in the back of my head.
You'd
know if my hair was down.
I'm sorry?
You'd know if my hair was down.
Can I get a little more full hair on the side or something? Or we'll do it maybe at the break. Can we do that?
Sure.
Okay. Actually, I could draw that. I could draw that.
Okay. If you tell me beforehand that you're doing portrait and you want my hair down, I can come prepared.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, let's do this now. I'm going to put my form here, and what I want you to do right away, I would like to have you, that's not so much for this exercise, but this is, you want to put it on a form here. Just want to make sure that sometimes your attitude with the shoulders will give an attitude to the bottle. Not so much here, it's just we're pretty straight on. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to make sure we got the right size. And then I'm going to find my vertical. Looks like we're almost in the middle, and I'm just going to pull it down. I'll put a little bend to it. You don't really have to do that, but I do sometimes. And we're going to go with our horizontal. Okay. See, that wasn't difficult. Now, right away, I am going to I'm going to draw. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to draw the eye where I have the most info, and I'm going to draw a circle, just a circle. And the reason we draw a circle is because everything we do is a question of form, and there won't be a circle. It'll be like a ball, and we're going to turn the form, and we're going to think always in form. And this is the lights up here, and there'll be a cast shadow. And when we draw the eye, this is what we do. There's no cast shadow on that right eye. On the left eye there is. But we always keep in mind that we have a light source and we have a shadow source. And everything we do will have this complete form. Okay, I'm just going to do this quickly, get my glasses on. You're going to draw the iris, you're not going to draw it too big, you're not going to draw it too small. And we're just going to, this is our first go right here. And I'm going to come over there, say, nice, this is a beautiful part of the eye that has less light right in here. It's a beautiful transition. And I'm going to really be aware of my eye socket. It's not just the eye, it's the eye socket we care about. Now this is flooded with light, so we have nice light form here. All right, now I'm going to come one eye over, and I'm going to be absolutely parallel on a horizontal, and I'm going to do the same thing here. And I would say this is at least 60-70% of your drawing. If you get this right, with the nose, you will have a real good drawing. Same thing now. I'm going to draw. I'm going to break the form. I'm going to take my time drawing my iris. And here we go again. The idea of the round circle, the round ball. All right, I think I need a little more volume here. One eye over. And here we go again. Always lining up, and always coming over here. Every time I come and correct, almost invariably, everyone will forget to do this area, and you won't be able to get scale in your drawing. Okay? Now, I was talking about cast shadow here because it's around, but your cast shadow is right here, and the cast shadow is a hard shadow. And you can see that here. So when you do portraiture, you're learning everything about how to paint. This is a fill shadow with an edge on the form. All right, that's enough over there. Now I'm going to come right straight down. I'm going to get a nice V here. And I'm going to go right to the model. I'm going to look for the tip of the nose. You see how there's a highlight right there? It's a little off center. And I'm just going to draw the tip of the nose in here, just like this. Now, what I'd like to have you do is not to do a lot of measurements now. What I'd like to have you do is to be able to identify these things when you're drawing, because when you're out sketching, you're not going to be measuring everything. You're going to be able to, what I want you to do is just an instinctive quality to capture the scale of the object. So I'm going to put that over. And now I'm going to draw underneath the nose, and I'm going to come down one eye, and I'm going to do a little wedge here, a little wedgy form. Even though we don't see it here because there's a light coming here, please learn to do this. Learn to do this. If I were higher, that wedge would be much smaller. If the guy's back behind me, it's a small wedge. If I were closer to her, it'd be a more pronounced wedge. But this is a plane. It's a very important plane because we come up here, we go around, there's another plane, and we go down. But you be aware of this plane. And when you're done, the way to do this particular drawing is you do the wedge, you do this, and then you put the nostril in because of the light filling it. But that's something we'll learn to do. Anyway, so that's enough of that. Okay, we're cool here. All right. Now, on the profile, we're going like this, we're going like this, we're going like this. Okay. The light is up here, and we're coming down. Now there's a shadow pattern right through here. I'll put that in as we go. There's a shadow pattern here. There's a real strong shadow. There's a shadow on the upper lip, on the lower lip, and here. So this is what we're going to do. Now we're going to lay in. In these classes, what we're doing right now, it's not, you're not going to go for portraiture. Portraiture, if you learn to do the basics, you will learn to do portraiture. It'll just take a little longer, a lot of correction, but please, that's not our problem today. The mouth generally comes pretty close to the middle, depends on the mouth form. Just, this is one thing you can keep in mind when you draw it. Okay. So, all right, now I'm going to draw through the form of the chin. And we've done everything we can here now. Now, all of this, we've structured it with a good mechanics. Now, there's one thing there is some things you have to just go to the model and do it with your ability to copy. So this line, you're going to take your time, you're going to find a wonderful Mirandine line here that moves in space. It comes down. This is her personality. It turns under. That's her chin. It turns in here. You have to own this. When I say it, own it. You have to go and copy it and make it yours. Okay? This is a construction that you can learn to do with 1 or 2 or 3 steps. This is something you just have to do and be one with it. Okay, I'm going to continue. I'm going to find my form. I'm going to put my neck form in here. And this is another, you just read, what does the neck look like? Maybe that's too small for the head, I see. So I'm going to open it up. And we're going to come right up here, and we're going to find where the ear could be. I'm going to take my horizontal, run it right through. So the ear is down here. And you can find generally the top of the ear, but we don't see it here, but we're going to do it here like this. Okay. The hair is going to be, we'll cover that. All right. Now, anytime you can, when you do a drawing, if it's possible, we go like this, and we see if we can find another ear. Whoa. You have 2 ears, so I can't pull it off. So forget it. So if I did put an ear, that would look weird. Okay, but sometimes you go like this, and there's an ear, and it's just a little thing. And that's what, when you do a painting, when you do a real drawing and everything, it really helps. Okie doke. So here we go. Did the best I could. And now I'm going to design the hair mass. Now, our light source is here. So I'm going to put a shadow under here, the lighter form. She has a darker hair. And I'm going to pull it back in here, away from the light. And I'm going to find a form that I really like. I'm going to come over here. So I'm going to design the hair, because I like to do that, and we can do that. I'm just going to give her a little more volume over here. And the hair, please, 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 do not give me this. If you give me this, I'll scold you severely. This is not hair. That has nothing to do. What we do when we do all that, we do one or two of those. This is hair. Hair is soft. Hair is soft. It's voluptuous. Softer the hair, the better. The softer it is, the more it makes hair. Okay, so we consider everything we do is in form, This whole area is in form, so it turns under, it turns under, it turns under here. That's the top of the form. We just work like a cloud form, you see? All right, this guy's taking light right here. This is out of light. This is all going to be just a nice pattern. Looks a little weird without the shadow, right? We'll get that. Okay, now remember last week I talked about the beauty of the line and how how you lose the line. You have a nice round, a straight, a smaller, and a change of pace. And what would this be? Would this be pretty like that? You see that you try to create beauty right with your lines and with your forms. Now this is what we're going to do with the hair. We're going to find, maybe that would be cool. Maybe that would be cool. Maybe this would be cool. Maybe I'll bring this here just for the heck, but maybe I'll do, there is a little, what I like to do is to take it through the form. And I'll put this in and I'll come back later. Now what we have is the actual volume of the person. There is a white expanse. Okay, now let's just make it ours. We've constructed everything that's necessary. I think it would be good to get away, but we don't have time. So I think things are sitting there not too bad. Now we can start to draw. Okay? So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to create a nice cast shadow. It's going to go over my form. I'm going to, this is a beautiful cat. When we draw, anything we draw has a core. It's called a core, or the corner, or the edge of the form. What this is, we have our light form and we have our ambient form. This ambient is the light that's in this room. Now I put the shield up so we wouldn't have too much ambient. But this ambient light is what's, when I told you to open that, to get near a window, that's your ambient light. It's going to fill in here. This is your richest color, and this is absence of color. This color right here is what the Impressionists used. They went right to that rich color, not the light, not the darkest, and not the lightest. So that's why it's really important that we have this edge. It's really, really important. So our light source is here, and then we have our cast shadow. Now our cast shadow is stronger towards the object that it's coming from. And this is fill light, you see? So we have all these beautiful, wonderful things to work with. Everything we draw in this course will be based around that. So let's see how it goes here. I'm going to start to draw. I'm going to just put a little line in here. This is a plane. This comes up and it comes over and it comes down. Okay? So I'm going to come over here. This is my core shadow. This is my cast shadow. Now it's going to come down the cast shadow and it's going to start to dissipate. This is a beautiful cast shadow here. I love all this area here. And we have a half tone in here. I'll just put that in. There is a cast shadow here. We don't really see it unless we're aware of it, but I'm going to put it in. There's a cast shadow right over here. And okay, now we're gonna go just take this into, this is our fill. I'm gonna pull this down. I'll pull this over, half tone. Less is more when we draw. This is what we learn in watercolor, just to keep this nice and vibrant. I'm not seeing this as well as I'd like. I'm going to pull this over, it's my half tone. I'm going to pull this over, half tone. I'm going to pull this over. And when we do draw, let's see, where can I don't, Larry, can you get this down here? Can we get this down here?
Yeah.
When we draw the form, the human form, it's like an egg. Your light's up here, and what happens is it turns like this, and it also turns under. It turns under, you see? So there's your light source up here, and as we get down here, it gets just a little darker. And I'll come back in now and erase. Now, I have some drawing discrepancies, and I will get to those. I'm going to get to the top of this form. And we have a light source here. This is our lightest light. We're a little farther away from the object here. You see, we're over here. So this is going to be just a little less aggressive. And I want a light on that edge. And now I'll come in, and I'm going to start to correct the drawing now. We're going to do a few things. Great tool, this eraser, great. I'm going to pull this up. She's taking light here, a nice light right here, that nice half tone. I want to keep that half tone. If I keep a half tone here, I got a nice soft movement in space. I love this stuff. I love it, I love it, I love it. All right, let's go up here. I'm going to build this is the eyebrows, enough to give you the form you need. And here we go. And I want to get the lip a little more aggressive with my lip form. All right, let's find our form down here. See, this is the edge of your form here. We can see that, right? Everyone can see that. This area is right here. Now there's light coming up from her skin. So there's your jawline right there. I'm going to come over here. And I'm going to pull this in a little bit. This is a descriptive line. You want this to be part of your vocabulary. I'm going to hit my cast shadow right here. Cast shadow. I'm going to get my beautiful neck form. Now what I like to do with the neck is I like to do this just a little bit. Just don't tell anyone. That's the secret, okay? And I'm going to come over here. And I'm just going to stop this right there. All right, now let's just go from here. When you come to an edge of a form, and we'll see this in all the drawing we're doing, we never, if you look up there, you think that, you see that the light is right up on the edge, right? Mm-hmm. Don't go there. Bring your light inside the form. That way you're turning in space. And when we do painting, that's really important because you have a beautiful color mass. It really helps your painting. All right, this is not a chef d'oeuvre. It's not a masterpiece. It's a teaching tool. I'm going to spend just a little more time. We're almost done. I'm going to pull this over just for the design. Yeah, and we can go darker down here. Now today we'll be working primarily on the how to build a structure. There's so much that we can cover. And when you do your hair, you do your personality. Once you get the form you want, see, we decided we would do something like this. Then you do this. After. Whatever you want, not too much. And when you're up in here, you go like this. There's your hair forms. You only do 1, 2, 3. That's enough. So we feel hair, but it's soft, and that's what we should do. Okay, I think we're almost there. We're almost there. Let me clean this up a little bit. I'm going to get a highlight here. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to pull this up. Now, I haven't been able to get away. I'm sure there's errors here. But this is, again, is a demo. And that's what I want you to do. Get your highlight down here. And also the highlight on the lip, it's in the middle of the form. I see a highlight up there. You want to get it right in the middle of the form. And the highlight on the lip is really important because it will show you a humidity, a little bit of a not humidity, what is that? Moisture. Voila. Sorry, folks. Okay, is that fun or what? Okay? Are we good? Any questions? No questions. I'm so good.
So good, I'm angry. I'm angry. I'm angry myself.
You're supposed to be inspired.
I should be inspired, but I'm angry.
Okay. I'm gonna come around the class. I'm gonna come around to everyone. I'm gonna make sure, you see this? This is really important. If it's too big, you don't dominate it. If it's too small, you can't use your tools properly. Okay, that's that. What we're going to work on this morning is absolutely the lining of all the eyes and nose and this area right here. This is what's important. All the rest, if you get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you get this, you're home free. Home free. Okay? All right, are we ready to go? Everybody good? Please pay attention. What I put up with. Unbelievable. Look at the young people. No problem. No.
But we love you. You know we love you.
Okay, again, let's not go any bigger than this, kiddies. Okay? Now, the secret to doing a profile is this. And I talked about it when we saw Leonardo da Vinci, his beautiful profile, right? Remember that in the beginning of the class? It's this line you want to draw, right here, right here. You draw that line. That's how you start, okay? Then you come up and you do the nose. Now the nose will give you scale. You can have all the fun you want. You can do any kind of nose you want. Just enjoy. I'm just copying what I see here. Put the nostril in. There's scale for your whole drawing right there. Okay, there you go. There's your scale right there. Now I'm going to put the, what is this called here? There must be a name for that. Anyway, the bridge of the nose. Voila, that's what I want. Okay, all right, you see I'm following it. And down here, I'm going to follow this. I'm going to put my lip form, my upper lip form, my lower lip form. This is interesting. If you can draw that line, that makes the lower lip. You don't see it, but do it. It's just a little added bonus here. That's a beautiful turn in there. That may be too exaggerated, but that's where you get so much beauty. So much beauty. That's so beautiful there. The lower lip, you put your chin in. Now this is not going to be a portrait, but it's going to be a how-to. Now here you can come back and correct anything you want. You can with larger, smaller lips, da 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 da. You can do anything you want here now, but we own it. And what happens, the student does this. This is what the student does. They go like this, they put a nose in, they go like this, they do this. I know, I exaggerate, right? But it's either like that or it's out like this. It's usually like this. But please, just do this, okay? It's so much easier. All right, now I'm gonna continue. Now this area here is always, excuse me.
I'm sorry, she's distracting.
This area is always on an angle.
The blame begins.
You see what I put up there? Unbelievable. No, look, this is important now because we always have a tendency to put our eye too close to the bridge. That's just almost 99% of the people do that. So bring it over, and even if you bring it over than what you think, because generally this is a dark mass in here, and it just makes everything look closer than it is. So I'm going to put my eye form in. I'm doing the circle so you just think of a circle. And my eyelash, it comes up and around and around. It's my eyelash, it's coming in here. It's not a round iris, it's an oval. Okay, there we go. Keep that soft, there we go. And we're going to come down here. And this is the underside of the round we're talking about. And this is a beautiful, that's a real nice, that's where you really put some beautiful color when you're painting, right back in there. All right, and there we go. This is important because we know that that's the eye socket. And there's a form here. See, this is your forehead, this comes around here, and this comes over, okay? So now we know. All right, now to find the ear, this is really important. We're going to come down here, and we're going to come down to the chin, and we're going to do a unilateral triangle. This side, this side, this side, okay? And that's where you're going to place your ear. Now, the ear is always farther apart than we think. Always, always, always. So this helps. You're going to draw, you're going to use that, and then you're going to do your drawing. You're going to say, oh, it's too far, it's not far enough, but you know it's about right. I'm going to line it up now with the nose. Actually, it lines up with the lower lip. There we go. And we'll line it up with, the eye. There we go. We have our ear. And don't get me going on the ear. I love ears. I love ears. I'll be talking about them till the day I
Haven't
die.
reported you at the police yet.
What?
I know it's just a joke.
What did she say? Did she say something that's nice? Was she nice?
Yeah, she was
Okay,
nice.
okay. All right. Okay, so we have our form here. This is all something you can use to help your do a beautiful drawing. And now I'm going to find my neck. So we're going to find your neck. It actually is probably back here. This neck form has to look like it's going without. Now this is a skull now. There's your humanoid form. If it looks okay, if you're okay with that, all you have to do now is put the hair mask. Piece of cake. Piece of cake. And there's your drawing. Okay? And when you do your hair mask, get it in as a mask so you can judge volume. Okay? That's it. That's the big show right there. All right, I'm going to say this again. You're going to start koozie, 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 just like this. Your scale and form and your activity, everything is interesting is going to come from here. Once you get that, you're going to find your lip form, and you're going to make sure that you're on a movement. Let's say, now she actually has more of a jutting chin. I didn't catch that. But there you go. You corrected. It's been corrected. You have your model there. But you know how to build it now. We're going to come over here farther than we think at an angle. All right? Now, when she turns a little more, this area is going to get smaller. But I just want you always to make sure that you are aware of the distance here. That's all. Okay? And then we're going to do unilateral triangle, put the ear in, line up the ear, skull, find your neck, and that's it, a piece of cake. Okay? Everybody get that? All right, so you guys that are around there, you can autocorrect now. You have the nitty-gritty. All right, that's it. We're cool?